Brandon, driver with Electric Auto Squad. The Model Y is here. I sold just over 1,000 cars in my time working as a salesperson for Tesla, and I cannot tell you how many times I've talked about performance or long range with people and debated it and talked about every single point you could probably discuss. So I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm going to cut it down to the top 3 things that I've talked about with people about this topic and maybe help you come to a decision on your own. I'm going to work to earn your like and subscribe by the end of this video, so check in with me at the end to see if I did. And in case you're curious, Electric Auto Squad is a business that offers private instruction for new electric vehicle owners. So if that's something that interests you, please send me a message. Number 1, cost. You're going to be paying more for the performance. As of July 2020, it's a $10,000 increase from the all-wheel drive up to the performance. On the positive side, 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 is fast. Paying $10,000 for the difference is nothing if you're looking for a performance crossover, especially one that goes 3.5 seconds 0 to 60. For a $60,000 car, this will beat some sports cars off the line. You're also not just paying for acceleration, you're also paying for better performance Brembo brakes and a number of other upgrades that come with the performance package. And something that does really hold true, if you're putting $10,000 extra into a performance vehicle, the resale on your car will be a lot better when you're looking at getting rid of it later. Now, the downside. I've heard a lot of people say that $10,000 is way too much to pay just so the car goes faster. Something that is true, and I've heard a lot, is you might pay for it and then enjoy it once or maybe for a month or two and then never again. It's true that the driver of the car usually has the most fun in a performance car. So if you're somebody that lives with family or if you have kids that don't really like fast cars, then you might really enjoy the performance and the rest of your family might not so much. And they might be asking you to put it in chill mode every time you go to the store. Also, once you get over the initial thrill of driving a performance car, you're going to find that driving it fast and stepping on it burns the battery faster. So if you're going to want to save battery, then you're going to find yourself leaning back and forth between stepping on it and then just driving it in chill anyways. Number 2, the battery range. If you want the performance car, then 25 miles of difference is really not that big a deal. If you're worried about road trips, there's a supercharger now roughly every 50 miles in higher populated areas. My Model 3 gets about 230 miles on a full charge right now, and I go back and forth between Los Angeles and Las Vegas all the time. It's a 4-hour drive, and I'm never worried at all about finding a supercharger in time. So I think you'll be okay. Most people aren't going to drive 291 miles in a day anyways. And if they are, they're probably going to be stopping for a bathroom break or for food or something before they reach 291 miles straight of driving. You're probably not going to really notice the difference between 291 miles and 316 miles. The downside, are you really okay with paying an extra $10,000 and losing range on your car? Keep in mind that your car is probably not going to get the full rated 316 miles on the long range all-wheel drive anyways, because you're probably using music, probably going to be going a little bit faster than the speed limit. You might even have air conditioning on. These are all things that take away from the energy levels of the car. You might have heard of the term range anxiety before, and it's a real thing, and people really do struggle with that, especially driving something unfamiliar like a Tesla. So if that might apply to you, then every bit of range is going to count. And maybe that 25 miles of difference won't come into play today or tomorrow, but what if there's an emergency and that 25 miles difference really counts? Quick side note here, Teslas actually can go a lot further than their rated range if you drive slow. I'll make a separate video on this, but if you're ever in an emergency and you're worried about getting to your next destination, drop your speed and your battery rating will actually go up and up and up, possibly even to double of what it's normally rated for. Number 3, performance is an experience. I gotta say, one of the most fun parts of my job as a salesperson was taking people on test drives in performance cars. Just seeing that grin the first time the driver steps on it and the laughs from the other people in the car when they're shocked at how fast it goes. That is something you will never forget and you will probably keep reliving owning one. And it's contagious. You're going to be so excited about owning a performance car that you're going to want to share that experience with everyone. Everybody you care about will be getting a test drive in your car. Maybe not behind the wheel. I understand if it's your baby and you don't want them possibly hurting it, but they probably will ask you to go along for a ride, or at least you'll be offering. It's really common to hear Tesla performance owners say that it's like owning your own personal roller coaster. And yeah, it kind of is. The downside of the performance experience, you can get in trouble. The all-wheel drive is already pretty fast. 4.8 seconds, 0 to 60 is nothing to sneeze at. Maybe you're the kind of person that doesn't need the temptation to stomp on it every time you see someone else at a stoplight that's giving you a funny look. Yes, I have had many conversations with people that have admitted they have way more speeding tickets than they should. And honestly, I applaud the person who sees it that it's a temptation they don't really need to deal with. Instant torque applies to every Tesla, not just a performance car. So if you get the all-wheel drive, you're still going to be launched back in your seat every time you stomp on it. It might not be as extreme as the performance, but you'll still have fun. Also, is the experience worth sacrificing your tires? Because you definitely will be burning through tires a little bit faster in the performance one. And the experience of speed in the performance one will come a little bit at ride comfort because the 20-inch wheels are going to feel a little more bumps in the road than one of the smaller size wheels. And lastly, nausea is a thing. Not everybody is built to be in a performance car. When I first started working as a salesperson, there were days where I needed to just go and lie down for a little bit because I just could not handle performance cars. It took me a while and I got used to it, but I dreaded going for test drives in Performance, S3, and X for a long time. Checking in real fast, have I earned your like and subscribe? I tried really hard to format this video so that you heard which way you were leaning just from my arguments. You started agreeing with me at some point which direction was really more for your type. But I will say this, one of the things that I always have heard and still hear today is that Model 3 Standard Range Plus owners always wish they had the long range. And the long range owners always wish they had the performance. And the performance owners are always counting down the days until they're getting a Model S or X. Tesla has a really good track record of impressing owners beyond their expectations once they own the car. If hesitation simply to the unknown is gripping you and stopping you from making your decision to get the performance, I highly recommend going and doing a test drive or talk to your sales associate and tell them that, and they might have an idea or two for you to help you out. And I totally also recommend joining my Discord, which the link will be down below, and see if you can get in touch with someone who already owns one and ask them about their experience and see if you really should be getting the all-wheel drive or the performance. Check out this video up here on some other thoughts I have on a similar subject, and let me know in the comments if you have an idea for another video. Stay safe.